With that, let us bring in Janelle King, political commentator and host of Let's Talk About It with Janelle King. That's the name of the podcast. Janelle, this really does beg the question, why was the fox guarding the henhouse even after Elon Musk purchased the company?
Well, it's clear that that was happening because of the fact that there were so many people involved. And at this point, I think everyone's just trying to, cover themselves. I'll just say it like that, because they know what's coming down the pipeline. The reason why I think it's interesting that, Elon Musk is leaking this information slowly is because it's keeping it's particularly the left media, but also those who are a part of this on their heels. They don't know what's going to come out next, how involved, how deep, and so they don't know what to say. And as long as they stay quiet, it begins to show exactly how deep this runs. And I think that's what's happening. But I want to see more Democrats outraged about this, because it's the Democrats that supported Biden that should be shocked by this. I think Republicans knew all along that this was happening, or something along the lines was happening like this. So I do want to see more of an outrage from Democrats.
Yeah, I just think this is such a wild turn of events. You have James Baker, who was working at the FBI under former director James Comey. He was a key figure in the false allegations of Trump-Russia collusion. He was close with Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. He then lands a job at Twitter, and he's there during the original suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop story. And then you have this new news that apparently he was looking over the documents that Elon Musk wanted to send to Matt Taibbi, and he was sort of holding them back, reviewing them without Elon Musk's approval. So it's like double censorship, apparently on his part. That appears to be the allegation. So where do you see all of this going now that he's gone? What's next?
Yeah, you know what? I definitely see this going further deeper into our government. And this is why I really do think that this is treason. If you think about it, I mean, this is treasonous behavior. If you were colluding with Twitter and any other social media platform, because I certainly don't think it was just Twitter, in order to try to suppress information that benefits the candidate that you're supporting. That right there is when you start trying to undermine the government, our political process and our election process. That is a problem for me. So I do think this goes much deeper. And I'm hoping that our House begins to see, starts having hearings, and that, particularly our Congressman-elect Rich McCormick, I am calling on Congressman McCormick to call this out and really show us what really happened and go as deep as we need to go, but also highlight it in a way where the American people can follow, and we don't have to kind of, suppress our own lives in order to try to stay abreast to what's happening. So I think communication and messaging is extremely important here.
Baker's not the first one to be involved in this revolving door between big tech and big government. It has been going on for a while and really does explain why conservatives get censored at an unreasonable clip. Before we let you go on this topic, Janelle, how worried should Elon Musk be that there are even more people that he doesn't know about still inside his company that could sabotage his mission of promoting free speech?
You know what? I think that he is well aware of that. I know that is obviously a concern, but I think he's well aware of it. I honestly think that he is so far ahead of this by this point that we are the ones that's kind of catching up to it. So I trust the process that he's enacting at this point.
Yeah, well, speaking of social media, Republicans are demanding that Wisconsin bans all state employees from having TickTock downloaded on their phones due to concerns over Chinese influence on the app. So several lawmakers wrote a letter to Governor Tony Evers to ban the app and even delete it from his own phone. That letter reads in part, quote, TickTock is nefarious Chinese Communist Party spyware that surveils American citizens, promotes CCP propaganda, and allows the CCP to censor and control Americans. Your reaction to that?
I agree 100%. I remember in 2020, my husband and I was in Wyoming, and we returned on Fox News, and we were just watching Bill Barr do an interview, and he was talking about how China is such a threat, particularly when it comes to TikTok. And that was in 2020. As we kind of keep progressing, they just continue to grow, and there's more and more downloads. I do believe that the Chinese government to infiltrate this government. And something that my husband always says is that they want to take down America without firing a single shot. And I think that's what's happening when you see TickTock. And that is a concern of mine. I don't have that app. I will never download that app. But the moment you download it, even if you just create your own login information, you're handing over a little bit of personal information to the CCP. And they are not working in our favor. They are working against us. They are our adversary. So I absolutely agree with this decision.
Finally, Democrat Senator Raphael Warnock will keep his Senate seat after defeating Republican Herschel Walker in the Georgia Senate runoff by less than 100,000 votes. You are in Georgia. Your reaction to the results, and what do Republicans need to do to make Georgia red again?
Yeah, so you know what? I actually think that Georgia is still red. The reason why I said that is because the reason why this strategy worked for Warnock was because he was able to increase support in Republican counties. Just about every single county, he was able to do either equal or better than what he did in November. And what that did was those small little nudges, even though he didn't win those counties, though that it kept him in the game enough to kind of walk Walker into the metro counties where he knew he had a lot of votes. And so the strategy is there. However, he can't do it with just metro Atlanta. So I think that the Republican Party is going to have to take a long and hard look at the candidates that we select and making sure that they're able to create the momentum needed to turn out votes in rural Georgia.
All right, big news in Georgia and so many other areas of America this morning. Janelle, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.